note on the concept of redirection, not rejection. So many times in life we face things that feel like rejection, from people, from doors closing in our face, to opportunities, to jobs, to houses, to anything this can apply to. And we see it as confirmation that maybe we shouldn't have bothered going that way, or we're not good enough to do that thing, or life is against us, things don't work out for me. And we reiterate all this stuff to ourselves. And it's right that we allow ourselves to feel what's there. So if something has come in and it's really hurt you, you're allowed to feel the disappointment and the grief sometimes at what does feel like this very deep rejection. I'm just here to plant the seed that so often these things that happen that blow everything up and leave us feeling like the rug's been pulled out from under us, and what we wanted and what we were trying to strive for and what we were trying to build has been just ripped away from us, that actually maybe something inside you knows that there's a better course, that there's a better way, that there's a different path to getting to the feeling place that you want to get to. Because we only ever go after things because we assume that they're going to make us feel a particular way. You know, if I get that job, I will feel more worthy, I will feel more capable, I will feel happy. You know, if I get that house, I will feel successful. If I get into that relationship, I will feel whole. So we go after these things, and actually we forget that there are lots of ways for us to get to those places. We don't always have to bring something external into our experience in order to connect to that feeling. And sometimes there's a wisdom in us that understands this and knows that there's a better way. So many times in my life, I have sat in tears and anguish and just absolute shock and horror that a door has slammed in my face, and I feel hurt and I feel despondent and such deep disappointment. And then I just start to wonder, you know, maybe this is sending me on a course that's going to be ultimately better for me. Maybe something in me is looking out for me in a way that I can't understand at this point in time. And that the fact that this is happening is going to shove me into a state of having to take action in another direction, which normally I'd be too scared to do. So many people face things like redundancy, and not to downplay that, because it's devastating and it's scary, and you've got to move through that fear, and you've got to be with it, and you've got to console yourself and take care of yourself. But sometimes it does catapult us into taking an action we otherwise wouldn't have had the courage to do. Like, well, I have to do it now. I'm going to have to push on with this idea because I'm under pressure to make something work now. And somehow we recruit the things that we need, and we go forward and we make those steps, and life starts to carve out a new path for us, and we are expanding into exactly the feeling place that we were trying to get to, that some aspect of us knew we were selling ourselves short. Actually, you can do better than that relationship or that friendship. You can do better than that job or that course. Just keeping in mind, you know, maybe this is going to end up being for my greater good. And that's not to be toxically positive. It's just about having that air of hope and curiosity about something. And also holding yourself through those feelings that are really difficult. An example for me would be, I've always had this thing of a safety net in the back of my mind. I can branch out into self-employment as a therapist, but I'm also a registered nurse. So at any point, as long as I keep my skills up, as long as I keep my hand in, I can always fall back to nursing as like it's always there, and it's stable and it's strong and it's going to be an income and it's a way in, and it's something that I can just ping back to if I get scared or if something doesn't work out. And I held this for a long time, always believing that it was there and always believing that I'd be welcomed back. And then I came to this crossroads in my life where like I'm scared, this particular thing isn't working out how I thought, I need to change something about it, but I'm scared about moving forward into this new venture. I don't even quite know what the new venture would be. I'm feeling lots of different things that are uncomfortable. And I just thought, I need a safe haven and I need a minute. So I'm just gonna go back to nursing for a bit. I'm just gonna join the nursing bank and do some shifts, and I'll be fine at it. I like it. I've always liked nursing, and it'll be good for me just to sort of go to work and come home again. And I spent 3 hours on this application thinking that would be absolutely fine. Of course, I'll be able to go back there. I didn't hear a thing. And then eventually was told, oh yeah, we didn't even consider your application. And it was like, wow, that's painful. Ouch. So A, that safety isn't there. B, what must you think of me? C, what the hell am I going to do now? And D, this was always part of my identity. Being a nurse made me feel like I'm proper and I'm safe for people to approach, because people connect with that and they feel reassured by that. And if I let go of that registration, then who really am I underneath all of that? And do I want to let go of something I worked really hard for, and that I see myself as a nurse? And so it feels like a grieving process. And then what it did was it moved me into that grief. I had to move through the pain of it. I had to do all the crying and the this is scary and what am I going to do now? And I thought I always had that. And out of that emerged this, right then, you better get on and figure something else out and figure it out quick. And wow, did my brain then kick into something else, something that wouldn't have been activated if I hadn't been thrust into that position that was very scary. Suddenly it was like I started to have ideas, and I started to find that the courage was building, almost because I was being shoved from behind. You've got no choice, you're going to have to throw yourself out there. And it just all started to blossom. I got different threads of ideas and they were taking, and I thought, oh, okay, I could build this on top of that. Oh, and people are liking it. Oh, okay, and that's working. And actually, wow, I'm growing into this version of myself that I was trying to get to, but I assumed I needed to pit stop into nursing on the way through. And I was trying to take a safe route. And my inner self is saying, you don't need to do that. You don't need to wait. You don't need to go through that little stopping point. You don't need to stop at that station. Just crack on. Just crack on with what you really want to do. And so I started to build this new beginning, and I was feeling really excited and inspired. It was working out. I could see where it was going. Then I got a call to say, actually, would you reapply for the nursing position, because we'd really welcome that application. And I thought, wow, do you know what? I really don't want to. I really don't want to now. And it wasn't being petty. It was just, I realised that wasn't actually the best route for me. And much as I love nursing and I love Western medicine, I know that I get frustrated by it, because it's limited in what you can offer, in how you can approach people to bring in different tools for their healing. And I find the limitations frustrating. So I don't think it is the place for me, even though I have a great deal of love and respect for it. This is where I need to be. This is the space. This is the kind of thing that I want to apply myself to. So had I not had that rejection, I wouldn't have been redirected. And that has happened to me so many times. And I have seen it also in lots and lots of clients over the years, lots of friends. Sometimes the biggest disasters or the biggest disappointments force you to go a different way. And suddenly it all starts to pan out in a way that you could not have engineered and you could not have imagined. So I hope that this lands for you. And if you're going through something like that, just hold yourself through it. It will build this sense of self. You will tap into your own strength and you will have a greater connection to yourself. And I really think it grounds you into all the capability that you have in yourself, the trust that you have in yourself. And that eases away a lot of the fear that we all live with, moving through life, taking risks, putting ourselves out there, trying new things. when we can fear stuff less, we can explore more, and we can get more out of our life, and we can suffer less, knowing that, you know what, if a disappointment happens, I can figure myself out, I can get myself through that, I can be resourceful as well. Amazing what opportunities come in when you let them. So that's it. That's what I was going to say. Sending you the love.